And welcome to the Abundance Clinic. What a great way to start. If I had $1 million, and boy, I'd like to think that when we walk out of here, we'll all be $1 million richer. And welcome to everybody online that's tuning in for this very special event. We're here at the Crimson Circle Connection Center in Louisville, Colorado, the house that Chambra built. Yeah, we started here. We opened officially on June 14th. And since then, in just less than 2 months, we've done shouts and workshops and staff meetings and teacher trainings. And I say it's the house that Chambra built because if you remember back in February, Adamus said, it's time that we have a place. And here we are. It was through all the wonderful contributions of Chambra all over the world that made this possible.
Michelle also told me that there are people logged into this literally from every part of the globe.
Yeah.
Every part.
So let's give them a big shout out up to this camera here.
Woo!
To everybody watching in online. And you know, when Adamus called out for Chambra to come in and support to do our own place like this, it was actually kind of the best example I can imagine of abundance. It was astounding within hours after he had made the suggestion, said either do or don't, it doesn't matter. But within hours, we had received, I think it was like $30,000. And that amount kept on growing and growing and growing over the month, up to the point where Chambra donated about $250,000 so that we could actually do this studio up beautifully with the lights and the stage and nice chairs
beyond
and
what we imagined.
Food service.
Way beyond what we imagined when we suggested that we wanted a permanent place to set up and to be ready to go. Never did I imagine it would be. I knew we would do it, but I had no idea we would be able to do something this beautiful and graceful and at this incredible level. And the energy in this place is so fabulous because it's all of our energy that you can always feel when you're in here. The staff feels it, you feel it. It's really, really magical.
And the whole thing truly was magical. Never would we have imagined that we could just, you could create it like this. We would have, if it hadn't been for Adamus kind of going over the top with things, we would have sat down in a committee and done our planning and done our budgeting and maybe allocated a little money out of the budget, and we wouldn't have had a place like this. But with a very simple call saying, hey, Chambra, it's time, with no other pressure, it was created. And I think that's such a beautiful example for all of us to get out of our minds, to get out of our own way, to let the abundance flow in. We don't know, you don't necessarily know where it's going to come from, how quickly or how long it's going to take to manifest, and none of that matters. It's really just opening yourself for the abundance. So this studio here is the Abundance Studio, and so appropriate that Adamus said, oh, by the way, we'll do a free abundance class once the studio is open. That's why we're here today, and that's why we're welcoming in everyone who's here in person and everyone from around the world online.
Michelle, how many people do you think are logged in online right now?
Just over 3,000, so
pretty amazing.
A lot of energy. Wow, a lot of energy. I had to go in the back room and take a few good deep breaths before, because we can feel everyone who's logging in online as well as everyone here in the studio.
Through the cloud class.
Through the cloud class. So as Linda mentioned, this is being presented on the Crimson Circle Cloud Class, which is kind of our venue for doing online classes that we can do now from the studio. It was hard to do before because we'd have to find a hotel ballroom and we'd have to load the trailer and set up and unload the trailer and go through all those gyrations. And it wasn't very attractive when we sat down and thought about doing a class because of all the work. But here, we walk in the door, turn on the lights, hit a few switches, and away we go. I oversimplify. The production crew's like, yeah, it's not quite that easy.
Well, wait. No, it is that easy when you do it in comparison to what it was like with the hours of loading, moving equipment from the trailer into the room, setting the room. And again, there's a continuing energy that's here. Every time we would move to a different meeting room, even the hall, you had to it was like restarting the engine.
Yeah.
Here it's like the engine's always purring, humming, ready for us.
It is. I like that. Yeah. So here we are, and here you are watching it online on the Cloud Class, where we have a variety of different classes. I think that you can see a listing of the different things we offer, and we'll have much, much more in the future. So the Cloud Class is a great way to reach out and connect all around the world, easily, simply, and from our own home base right here in Colorado.
So it is.
You'll have free access to these files for 90 days, the video files. Just come back to the Cloud Class anytime. Watch it anytime you want. You can stop it. You can restart it. You can really feel into the energies. As most of these things go, you'll watch today or you'll be here in person today. And when you go back to listen later, you'll hear things that you didn't hear today. There's things that kind of slip by. You can watch it 3, 4, 5 times and still pick up new information.
We experience that all the time, that when the first time you hear it, there's always some piece of it that you connect to, and yet once you make that connection, if you listen to it again, you'll be surprised. As Jeff says, there's always something more, an expansion on it the second time you listen to it.
Absolutely.
And you are, because this is free and it's meant to be freely distributed, this in particular, you are welcome to share this link with others and let others experience this.
Of course, they'll need to register at the Cloud Class, but it's absolutely free. So, yes, send that around, put it on social media, let other people know about it, because abundance is such a big issue, particularly with those involved in their spiritual path. It's perhaps the biggest issue of all. And it's something. It's
the most consistent.
And it just keeps consistent, coming up time and time and time again. And not everybody has that issue, but I think we all have it to a degree. Some have it more than others. And this class has been kind of in the making for years now. Adamus has kept on saying he was going to do it. I was pretty nervous about it because, I am nervous about it because to approach a topic like this, and I know a little bit about what Adamus is going to say, it's a little nerve-wracking, And more than anything else, I really, truly want to see results for all of you, anyone watching in online, anyone here. I don't want this to be just another class. So I'm actually going to put the responsibility back on everyone. Let's break through this. Let's get through this once and for all. So just before we get started, a perfect follow-up to this is the Abundance Mirab. For those not familiar with the Mirab, it's about 25 minutes worth of kind of music and some Adamus channeling, but it's time where you sit back and allow your consciousness to shift with no effort, no forcing, no meditating, no breathing or anything. You just put the headsets on, you will let yourself slide right into that energy. And this Mirab we did with Adamus and the musical group Yoham. And it's beautiful.
It's an experience that you can just let yourself dive into it.
Exactly. So if you need kind of a tune-up, if you've watched the videos and you just kind of need that just a very gentle, energetic tune-up, this Mirab, which we recorded just a couple months ago in Slovenia, is really beautiful. I think some of you here already have that, and I love it. I was listening to it last night to kind of get into the abundance mood. So we're going to abundance. So we're going to bring in Adamus now. For those of you not really familiar with Adamus or the Crimson Circle, you can read a lot more about the Crimson Circle at www.crimsoncircle.com. We have a 15-year library of free information. It's the channels, which are really our history, the history of what we call Shambhala, all over the world, going through our enlightenment. And you'll find it in text form, audio form, or video, absolutely free of charge. Should be especially on this Abundance Day. And if you want to, I was going to note something else I forgot.
Adamus is a very, very unique.
Adamus.
A unique expression specific to a unique audience of Saint Germain.
Yeah. So for those wondering about Saint Germain, Adamus, it is Saint Germain, but it's a very unique expression or facet. He came in about 5 years ago, starting working with us full time.
Directly. Yeah.
It's you could say it's kind of an eccentric personality of Saint Germain. He can be provocative, he can be direct, he can be funny at times, but more than anything, I find him to be very profound.
Well, he has an effect that he really invites us to be very present. When you listen to Adamus, the invitation is to be present, not to disappear, not to go to the zone, to be here and now in the present moment.
I've been channeling for about 15 years. I started out with an entity called Tobias. And during those Tobias days, I channeled with my eyes closed, sitting on a bar stool, not moving around. When Adamus came in, he said, no, that's not going to work anymore. And he said, I want your eyes open. And that was a little challenging. First of all, to see that people were really looking. I thought the audience always had their eyes closed like mine. And they didn't. That was a little shocking. And it was also a little shocking because I don't see like I normally do once I go into channel. It's more multi-dimensional. It's like I see layers and layers and layers, and sometimes when I'm looking at the people in the audience, their faces change, and I'll even see a past life aspect or even a future potential come out. So it's like putting 10 film projectors all in the same screen, and it's a little disorienting at first, but I've gotten used to it. Adamus walks around sometimes, and that took a lot of getting used to. And particularly when he would confront people, which I don't personally do, but he kind of enjoys it if you didn't notice. And the funny thing is with Adamus, he'll always ask questions in our regular monthly gatherings, and just don't answer because there's only one correct answer, and it's Adamus's. So
You're not supposed to give that away.
they already know, but they can't help it. It's like, oh no, I got to give an answer. So Adamus is quite a character. So for those watching it online who aren't familiar, yes, I do channel with my eyes open. The channel we call a shout because it's not just Adamus. It's partly me. At first when I started channeling, I thought they wanted me out of the way, and they're like, no, you need to be present. It's partly Linda. She assists me in the channeling. She helps hold the energy. She talks back and forth with Adamus, and I can hear some of those conversations, which is a little crazy. And it's all of you. Adamus says that a real new energy channel, or what we call a shout, is a combination. It's a third him, a third Linda and I, a third you, but that percentage varies back and forth. So we're all part of this together. So let's take a deep dive into abundance, one of the greatest issues facing us, but I think also with a little bit of insight and a little bit of wisdom, one of the easiest issues to walk past. So Linda's going to do some breathing. We'll have a little music, and then Adamus.
We're all going to do some breathing. The invitation, of course, is this now moment. That we're going to breathe in this now moment, that conscious breath. You breathe all the time, but when we stop like this in the now moment, you allow this conscious breath to flow. It's your breath. It's our breath. No one can do it for you. Only you can do it. So please, I invite each of us to take the deep breath, to take it fully into you, filling your body. Your body can feel it. And it's your body knows that you choose life when you take this deep and conscious breath. Breathe deeply from the soul of you. When you breathe present and in this now moment, you can feel your soul flow with you. So breathe and receive. This is a very, very special moment. Our breath. The now. I invite you to flow and open to this experience because this is the topic of abundance. Can you flow with abundance? Can you allow yourself to really feel this experience? Feel Adamus as he moves in close, here for each and every one of us if we choose. So breathe and open all your senses. And the music will play. And I invite you to just allow the breath and the energy to flow with you and the music. So breathe. Breathe and feel. Breathe and open. to this experience. Breathe.